It's the #1 gangster, the #1 pitman. It's the incredible Jiggaboo Jones, the #1 nigger in America!
Yeah, yo, Jiggaboo Jones, man. We get ready to do bike lock number 3. This is gonna be the we're gonna do the thing that's gonna wrap it all up so people know what's going on. Everybody done got the bike locks and everything. They've been locking stuff up, locking it up, shutting it down. Anyway, people was asking me some questions about doing some bike locking, and I don't think some of y'all done got the idea of how you're supposed to do this right. You know, when you're doing this, you gotta be real careful that you ain't getting no fingerprints on nothing, and that's really important. You know, when you got your bike locks and stuff, you be like, yeah, okay, here's your bike locks in case you don't remember these. You know, these are the bike locks right here, you know, that people be using and stuff. And there's a couple of ways to get these things right. You take it like this here, and when you open it, you make sure you don't put your hands on that lock. You don't put your hands on that lock, look. So you get it like this here, and then you go ahead and pull the key off through the bag, leaving it all in the bag, okay? Bag still intact. Take the key like this here. I got the key in there. I don't know if y'all can see the key. I take the key, I'll stick it in the lock like this here. Bah! Now it's open. You see that? It's open. And you stick whatever it is around the lock like this here, and then you pull it back on the bag, and you lock it up. You get the lock on here, and you lock it around whatever it is you're gonna lock it on. You whip the bad boy around, you still got the bag, you still got your bag. And when you're working your bag and you're locking it, you lock what it is, you take it like this, you clack it on here like this here, like around, you take it like this here around whatever it is you're gonna lock it on, like you come up in here, bah, like this here. Actually on the inside of the plastic though. Click, pull the bag away with the key, but it'll be on the lock where it's at, and you ain't got your fingerprints on it. Another way I like to do things is I like, you know, here the key go right there, you know. There's another thing I like to get, these rubber gloves like this here. And you can sell some brown rubber gloves, you know, for a nigga like me, you gotta have brown, you know. That way, you know, there's a lot of people say, oh, I get some leather gloves. You don't want the leather gloves, dog. Check it out. Because you're wearing the brown gloves, people don't notice this. You know, you walk around with gloves on like this, don't nobody be seeing that. You'd be like, you know, kind of close. You know, got your watch on, people don't really be noticing. And you know, you wearing black leather gloves and stuff, people gonna notice some black leather gloves coming out. You know, so you don't want to be caught up like that. I mean, look pretty close. People don't be noticing all like that, you know. Just put it like that there, and you can really do some dirt, and then when you done, you ain't got no fingerprints, nobody saw no gloves, nobody didn't see nothing, and you can really get down. Now, if y'all been knowing, I've been really getting down with the bike locks, you know. It brought back a lot of memories, you know, back in my days, you know, before I flunked out of high school and stuff, you know, out there putting locks on stuff, locking it up, shutting it down, you know, and the nigga look around and ain't nobody to be found, you know. Yeah, man, this is what we do, man. So bike locking is cool. Bike locking was for, we gonna make that March bike lock madness. We gonna do something new for April Fools. All y'all who was on my MySpace, I got the thing there on the April Fool's Day. Got y'all motherfucking ass. Anyway, man, I'm gonna do a whole thing. You gonna see some bike locking. You gonna see some of the stuff that I may have had something to do with, or I might know a motherfucker who did some shit. But I tell you what, man, this is what it's all about. It's all about bike locking. Thank you to all my subscribers, all my fans, my homies, my friends, and they haters too. Cause you know what? I'm just a nigga who saying some shit like a nigga say do. Anyway, man, you know, like it be saying, like a nigga say do, this is Jones Jiggaboo. I'm about this motherfucker. That's all for you. Yeah, but you gotta realize that bike locking is it. There's no cooler thing than doing some motherfucking bike locking. And the one thing that you gotta remember is that when you're doing some bike locking, is that you can't stick around and find out what the hell going on. You gotta be able to run up, click it up, and GTFO. That's get the fuck out for all y'all. And when you're doing some bike locking, you know, it's hard. It's hard because you wanna watch and you wanna see that motherfucker come back and see his shit locked the fuck up, but you can't do that. The whole idea of doing this shit is to get away with it and know you done fucked the motherfucker up, and that's all it is. You know? And that's the one thing you gotta do. You gotta get your motherfucking bike lock, set that motherfucker up, and put it on something that you know is gonna inconvenience a motherfucker. You know? Maybe you're not doing it for whatever it is, you're doing it in click. Do click, take a pic, send it to me, Jiggaboo Jones. Jones, me at jiggaboojones.com. A lot of people been emailing me some stuff. And you know what? And if you got your name and your picture on it, I'm not gonna put that up on there because I don't want nothing to come back on you as it is. I got enough problems as it is. Anyway, the business is bike locking, man. And I'm gonna do a whole thing. Now, bike lock, cable lock, that's a whole different thing from just a regular master lock kind of thing. And I'm gonna show people how to do some stuff later on. Maybe next month after March, bike lock madness is over. We can do something. But yeah, the main thing with bike locking is when you put the bike lock on, make sure it's in the plastic. When you put it on there, you click, click, click. You pull the plastic off, you got no fingerprints on that motherfucker, and you cool. And you can get away with some shit. That's the main thing you gotta know. When you're gonna put a bike lock on, you're gonna wear some gloves. You're not gonna touch the bike lock till you're gonna get out there. You notice I always keep them in a bag. I'm gonna do a clinic to show y'all how to do that. Put the stuff and do it in the bag like that. And the bike locking is it. If you name a lot of things a lot of motherfuckers want to do for fun and do something that's cool, like a motherfucker.com, you got to do some bike locking, because that's some fun shit. You can put a bike like this on a motherfucker's rim. That's it. Click. It's over. And that motherfucker drive down the street here, car starts shimmying, starts shaking. What the fuck going on? He don't know a bike locker's beating the shit out of his tire or beating the shit out of his goddamn car, fucking his shit up. He don't know what's going on. And you know what 99 cents is all? If that's all it takes, 99 cents for a bike lock to fuck some shit up? Come on, man. A lot of motherfucking places ain't got laws against that shit. Put a fucking lock on a motherfucking car. What have you done? Have you stole something? No. Have you fucked something up? No. You just gave somebody something. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you want to be a cool motherfucker and you really want to fucking get off on that shit. You take the motherfucking key for that bike lock, put it behind their back license plate. And be like, yeah, I thought this guy could use a motherfucking lock. Act like you stupid. Like, yeah, I thought you could use a lock or something, so I put the key behind the license plate. Cool like a motherfucker. Anyway, man. I know they got a lot. Ooh, look at all the motherfucking names up in this motherfucker. Goddamn. We got a lot of motherfuckers over here. Anyway, y'all, motherfucker can't be doing this forever. Bike locking is some cool ass motherfucking shit. I just want to show some people what the fuck we used to do when we used to do some shit and have a good motherfucking time. Motherfucker bike locking and shit. We was bike locking for a long time. You know what I'm saying? We used to do that shit. I'm gonna show y'all some fun with zip ties too. We gonna do that shit. Zip ties, nigga. Zip ties! Anyway, like a nigga say, dude, this is Jones, Jiggaboo. That's all for you. But y'all know the rest. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, nigga. One more time. Yeah, nigga. You know what? When you walking down the street, you just go ahead and say, yeah, nigga. White people, black people, Jews, and all the same. Yeah, nigga. Or you can say my name. I'm Jiggaboo Jones, the #1 nigga in America. That black motherfucker that's scaring you. I'm out this motherfucker right now.